Hello everyone, this is Ashwin Mandikar from PSD, Pune. So in last lecture we defined different operating system, but the question arises in discussing the operating system that involves what to call all the CPU activities. A batch system executes jobs, whereas a time shared system has user programs or tasks. Even on a single user system such as a Microsoft Windows, a user may be able to run several programs at one time: a word processor, web browser, and email packages. Even if the user can execute only one program at a time, the operating system may need to support its own internal program activity such as memory management, etc. In many respects, all these activities are similar, so we can call all these activities as a process. The term job and process are interchangeable in the text. Although we personally prefer the term process, much of the operating system theory and terminology was developed during the time when the major activity of the operating system was job processing. It will be misleading to avoid the use of commonly accepted terms that includes the word job, simply because process has replaced the job. So first is, what is a process? Global variable. The process may also include the heap, which is a memory that is dynamically allocated during the process runtime. So basically a process may contain stack, heap, data code, or data text section. So a new process, the process is being created, then it is in a new process. Running state, the process, the instruction are to be executed. This is the in a running state. The waiting, the process is waiting for some event to occur, such as some input output occur, some completion of some task, then it will be in a waiting state. Ready state, the process is waiting to be assigned to a processor. So there is a difference between the waiting and ready state. Ready means the process is ready to execute, but it is the processor is not ready, and waiting state means it is waiting for some input output event occur. Terminating state, the process has finished the execution, then the process will be in a terminating state. The processes are arbitrary and they vary across the operating system. The states that they represent are found on all the system. However, in certain operating system, also more finely definite process state. It is important to realize that the only one process can be running at any one processor at any instant. Many processors may be ready and waiting. However, the state diagram is as shown in figure. This is a state diagram of the process. So different states are there: new, ready, waiting, running, and terminating state. So the new state, when a process is created, then process in a ready state, new state. Then when it is admitted, then it will be in a ready state. The ready state means the process is waiting for the processor for executing. If the scheduler dispatcher is ready to dispatch a process to the CPU, then process will be in a running state. If some input output interrupt occur, then process will be again in a ready state, or the process requires some input output event, then process will be in a waiting state. After waiting state, after completing that input output event, again it will be in a ready state to running state. If the process completed, the process will jump to the terminating state. So these are the different states of a process. So next is a process control block. So each process is controlled by the one block, that is a process control block. So each process is represented in an operating system by a process control block. This is also known as PCB, or is also called as flash control block. A PCB is shown as shown in a figure. The PCB is shown. It contains many pieces of information. It is a specific process include this different event. So it contains the pointer. The pointer means where a particular process is pointing now. The process state whether this process is in a ready state, running state, waiting state, or any other state. The process number, so every process has a particular number. This is also called as process ID. So this process ID is assigned by the CPU to the process, so that a particular process will be distinguished from one another, and accordingly the scheduling will be take place. Next, the program counter. The program counter is indicate the address of the next instruction to be executed for the process. Next, the PCB also contain the registers. The register vary in number and types depending on the computer architecture. They include the accumulator, index register, stack pointer, and general purpose register, plus my condition code information. Along with the program counter, the state information must be saved when an interrupt occurs to allow the process of the correction. Along with that, it may contain the CPU scheduling information also. The PCB contains CPU scheduling information. This information includes a process priority pointers, which scheduling algorithm it is using, whether there is some priority for that particular process. This information is present in the PCB. Along with that, it also contains the memory management information, which contain the information may include such information as the value of the base and limit register, the page tables or segment table depending on the memory segment. This information related to the process is included into the memory management information. Then process control block also contain the accounting information. The accounting means the amount of CPU and real-time use, time limits, account number, job or process number, and so on. It also contains the input-output status information. The information includes the list of input-output devices allocated to the process, the list of open files. This also contains different which files it is using. So there are different system files it is using, or there are different process files are there. So it contains the list of open file for running that particular process.